Good morning, everybody. Okay, we're going to get into why the EBT.
This one is actually just so great.
Hold on. We're going to get into this morning. Why are people so upset? Okay, the EBT thing. People are now on TikTok going back and forth, and there are people on there that are upset that there are other people that are upset that they're receiving benefits. And then they're like, well, why can't I feed my kids, this and that? And then we find out, I'm going to show you some videos, and then you guys can say why we're upset that these people get EBT and SNAP benefits, along with whatever amount that illegal immigrants get. And yes, they do get benefits, regardless of what Hakeem Jeffrey says, because that wasn't true. He said that they don't get them or something because they're not legally able to obtain. That's not even close to accurate. Because first of all, parents who came here had what they call an anchor baby, not my words, their words, and then they qualify for all these benefits. So they have been receiving. They have absolutely zero incentive to become an American citizen when they come into this country and everything is handed to them on a silver platter. Now, I'm going to show you some people who are American citizens as well, who have been making this SNAP program and EBT stuff and Section 8 a lifestyle. And this is why people are upset at people like you. And shout out to Is She Loyal on YouTube, who uploaded this video 5 days ago. Give him the shout out, give him the love, show him the like, give him the subscribe. Let's get to the video.
I'm irritated. Mama, next month we ain't getting no EBT food stamps. Oh my God! Everybody pack your shit, because we finna go up there to the White House for that orange. Oh, y'all must thought I was playing.
Okay, you can. Never mind, I'm gonna be quiet.
Let's go. Tonight. So what the fuck is we gonna do? Alright, so I might trigger some people here, but I think the best thing to do is actually just get a job. If you already have one.
I was gonna say that.
I went from literally $1,700 in food stamps for a family of 3. Okay.
How were you receiving $1,700 a month for a family of 3? And then, guys, I want you to pay attention in the background. She's busy bitching on TikTok that she's not getting food stamps or whatever the thing she's going to bitch about. Look at her child in the background. Look at her child in the background.
I don't work. I stay home every day. I'm not able to work, so I should be getting the maximum amount. Especially because he needs cereal, chips, pop. He needs all that.
He is 2 years old, roughly around 2 years old. He looks to be about in a diaper. First of all, take that free time you have and teach your kid and pay attention to your child. Read to your child. Spend time with your child. Play with your child. Educate your child. This is why your child's in a diaper, standing on his high chair, about to bust his head open because he could fall. What is wrong with you? And you're worried about what you are getting? That you can't get soda and pop and chips and candy for him? How about giving him an apple, some grapes, some banana, some yogurt, some eggs, some meat?
And I need my energy drink. So I'm not.
You don't need anything. You want those. You don't need those.
Gonna have this taking me down from that much
And you notice how the kid in the background screaming, because he's screaming for attention, because he is left alone to his own devices, screaming at the top of his lungs. And what does she do? She doesn't correct him or talk to him or get him. She just talks louder over him. And we wonder why people are upset that people like you are no longer getting food stamps. No, we're not really upset about that.
And they put me all the way down to $120.
And if you shop right, you could make that 120 last.
Which they didn't even tell me why. I just got this notice and there's
Understand something. They don't need to tell you why. Just like they don't need to give you shit. Nobody owes anyone anything in this world. And especially when it comes to the government owing us. They don't owe you anything. That money doesn't come from the government, just so you know. It comes from the taxpayers. And when you bite the hand that feeds you, the taxpayers go, that's enough. Let's see what we can do about this. Then we elect somebody who we know will take that program and revamp it and fix it. And that's what he's currently doing. And as for the government shutdown, it's called the Schumer shutdown for a reason.
because they were cutting me back on food stamps. So now I'm really gonna have to cut back on everything. He's not gonna be able to have his pop no more.
Oh my goodness, he can't rot out his teeth with sugary drinks.
He's not gonna be able to have his cereal every day.
Oh my goodness, you might have to be a mom and cook a meal.
Breakfast and his chips that he eats all day long.
Oh my goodness, you might actually have to pay attention to your child instead of giving them a bag of junk food and popping them in front of a TV. Because let's face facts, that's what she does. And others like her. They give their kids this junk food to shut them up in the moments and plop them in front of some kind of screen. And we wonder why our kids are growing up stupid.
Wow, great, thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
The whole problem with things like pop.
Understand this. People don't care if you buy your kid pop or soda. People don't care if you buy chips or cookies or crackers. But you pay for it. It's that simple. You pay for it out of your own pocket with your own hard-earned money. Oh, but wait, you don't have any hard-earned money because you have been living on the system for roughly 20 years. I'm exaggerating the number. I don't know how long this particular woman has been on the system. Nobody does. But the point is some people say they've been on it for 15 years. Some people say they've been on it for 20. That's not what it was built on. It was meant as a temporary helping hand to get you back on your feet during a time of crisis. Back in the day, you would receive a stipend of food. You did not receive. You would get a big block of cheese, and we're not talking good cheese. We're talking that cheese that lasts 10 years, even if it's not refrigerated cheese. You would get some type of meat, usually mystery meat. You would get potatoes. You would get a couple of onions, and maybe some milk, and maybe, if you were lucky, a loaf of bread. And that's what you got, and you made it work. And you were grateful because your kids weren't starving.
Of cereal and chips is that they're extremely unhealthy, and you're kind of paying a trip.
All right, let's get to the next video. Okay, this lady here, I genuinely feel bad for her because, to my knowledge, she has 9 kids, some of them disabled. I don't know why she has that many children, but regardless, she's disabled, she says. But we're not, that's not who I'm referring to, so we're just going to skip ahead past her and go to the next.
Because where we were going to go and vacation at, they have already stopped certain things of being able to be purchased with EBT. Well, because of this, that would mean I would have to buy the majority of my family's food out of pocket. And that would dig into my money I have for fun things.
Make sure she doesn't get back on the program.
So I had no other choice but to cancel the trip. My family is so sad about this, and so.
Oh my goodness, you couldn't take a vacation with money that you scammed out of the system, basically. And your hard earned money has to go towards food instead of fun stuff. Shush.
I don't understand why people want to control what other people buy with their EBT.
Because it's not your money. Do you guys get this yet? EBT and food stamps was a government program that was originally for families in need during times of crises to help get you back on your feet. Now it has become a lifestyle for some, where they will literally have child after child after child just so they get a bigger check. And they have even admitted to this online, some of these women. And yet people can't figure out why the rest of America, who actually is footing the bill, gets upset with you. When you make statements like this, when 90% of the people watching you can't afford to take a vacation because they work hard every day and they're lucky if they get one vacation a year. Yeah, they're going to be upset that their hard-earned tax dollars are going to someone who is ungrateful enough to say, well, I'm upset now that I can't buy what I want to buy with my EBT. How about just be thankful? And I know that's not a popular opinion, but you know what?
I thought this was just common sense here. Sometimes you'll have to give up things you want in order to buy the essentials first. Unfortunately, that should is part of being an adult.
Come shopping with me at Sam's Club as a recently unemployed wife to a family of 9 using EBT. Anyway, we've officially made it through 1 month of summer break, and man, did it deplete literally everything we had in the house left. Despite my best efforts to keep a budget, I absolutely failed. I went over by more than $100 at Sam's, and I'm sure I'll pay for that later in the month. But I didn't really have a choice in my defense because these kids depleted every single thing we had in the fridge, pantry, and freezer. Anyway, this is nothing.
Let me ask a question. How many people out there, normal, hardworking Americans, go to a Sam's Club or a ShopRite or Walmart and video record yourself while you're shopping? You don't generally, right? You don't. There might be one or two, a few people out there that do, but not very many. And I'll tell you why. Because we're spending our hard-earned money, and that time in the grocery store is we're not just grabbing whatever we want. No. We're checking prices, expiration dates, those sell-by dates. We're checking everything. Because our money is being spent, and we want to make sure we're getting the most bang for a buck. Now, if you watch her, she's just grabbing stuff off the shelf without even glancing hardly at it. She might look a little bit, but then throw it in the cart. And most of it's garbage.
It happens every single year during summer break, so I'm not even
Garbage.
surprised in the slightest. I would also like to state
Garbage.
that it's not a complaint, but I digress.
Garbage.
Anyway, my daughter decided that she
Garbage.
wanted to play that little game
Garbage.
where you go up and down the aisle and you point to something and the person
Sorry,
says,
garbage.
whatever you land on is what you buy. She cheated. She wanted hot chips, so she changed it at the very last second. But whatever, I let her get what she
I
wanted.
say, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
This woman has, I think, 6, 8 kids. I don't know. The number keeps changing. Anyway, she also has a brand new car. And she was the person I spoke about in a video before, her and her husband, I guess, were going to Walmart. And I guess where they live, you get back 10 cents a can, not 5 cents a can. Or whatever, but they went and they were returned. They would buy with their EBT cases of Walmart pop. And then they would go out into the parking lot and dump it out. And then she wondered why people got pissed at her.
That food stamp card. Oh, it's zero balance. They took everything. I was just at Myers.
Oh, and by the way, she's got nails that cost roughly around $100 to get done.
To get some groceries, I had a cart full of groceries, over $600 worth of crap. I went to go slide that car. It's gone. It's all gone. They aren't paying my rent this month. I don't get my disability or my kid's disability.
Oh, and yeah, she was getting, every single person in her household was receiving a disability check as well. I didn't know you could get food stamps when you were getting disability. But she literally, each one of her kids, and believe me, I know what somebody gets when they get on disability, especially a child, because I know somebody who receives that and they get roughly around 600 to 800 or 900 a month. I know somebody who receives it and they get it 900 a month. That's one child, okay? So she has 6 kids, she said. 6 kids times 900. That's her monthly income in just disability. And then her rent was being paid and she was getting $2,700 a month in food stamps. And you wonder why there's nothing left?
My cash benefits was gone.
Oh, and cash benefits too. Yet when I went to apply back in the day when my husband and I truly needed it, I was told in order for them to help me, I would need to divorce my husband. You see the disconnect here?
I have over $10,000 in the food stamps. So I told my husband, and he says to me, as I'm crying, he says to me,
You had over 10,000 in food stamps on your card?
"Well, you'll do something now."
I'm sorry, that's fucked up and funny though. Sorry. That was funny though. Okay, so I'm not body shaming anybody, but I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of the people, not everybody on EBT, but a lot of the people that I noticed that were complaining about the EBT are pretty healthy looking. Just saying.
Why did I vote for him?
I know why I voted for him. I voted for him because I wanted a secure border. I voted for him because the last time he was in office, our economy was great. I voted for him because I didn't want somebody like Kamala Harris who has no experience. She was a placement as vice president, and she didn't do anything while she was vice president of worthy note. So why would I have voted for her for president? Now, the Democrat Party doesn't have anything that they're running on other than hate Trump and help illegals. Hate Trump and help illegals. That's what the Democrat Party is these days. So, yeah, no. That's why I voted for Trump. Despite everything else.
Is there anybody out there that can help me, please?
I mean, what do you you expect when you're buying only junk food? Do you really expect the government to subsidize all your eating habits when you could just be buying whole foods and cook actual good, healthy food?
Come November, if you are at the grocery store and you see somebody walking out with some food because they don't have SNAP benefits, food stamps, whatever to pay for it, I need you to keep your phones in your purse.
I will be the first one with my phone out recording them, recording their license plate, because you do not steal. And the only time I would turn a blind eye is if that person was an elderly or a disabled vet. That is the only way. Or a disabled. That's the only way. And you have to be, I'm not talking mental disorder, or I'm talking like you're not able to work. So, yeah, this woman, if you're in telling people that they should turn a blind eye, then you should be in just as much trouble as the shoplifter. Because the last time I checked, it's still against the law to take what doesn't belong to you. And if you do go into stores like Walmart, first of all, the Walmart Corporation and ShopRite and other major chains that can afford it have added security measures, funny ones, that if you go to leave, they can lock the doors on your ass. And they're also hiring security personnel. Not just the Walmart greeter, no. They're actually hiring police officers that are retired or off duty and are looking for a few extra hours somewhere. So yeah, these guys are armed. They're not just, and when they pick you up, they're not loss prevention. They don't have to call anyone. They just gonna call their buddy, have their buddy come down and pick your dumb ass up.
This is in your pockets and whatever. I need you not to record nothing.
I cannot wait for all the content of all you dumbasses being arrested.
You to mind your business. I need you to let these people feed their families, let these workers.
They're not feeding their families when they're going out selling their food stamps. They're not feeding their families when they're buying nails and hot subs at Subway with their food stamps. So this lady needs to just shush, because she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about with her very pretty eyes, by the way. I gotta say that. You have gorgeous eyes. Anyway, that was a little sidetrack.
Chase, let them chase, but I need you, talking to you, I need you to set aside and be still and let these people do it.
No, and any sane-blooded American won't just stand aside and let them do what they're going to do. They're going to pull out their phones. They're going to record them. They're going to make sure they get their nice little photo out there so that the police can see it, so that when they're arrested, especially the ones that are saying they're going to go do it, it's called premeditated grand larceny. And it's a felony. And you will go to prison. It's against the law. So don't be dumb. Don't break the law. Don't listen to a woman like this who has no concept of what she's talking about. And people that encourage this type of behavior should be in as much trouble as the people doing the behavior.
Whatever they need to do to feed their families. I need you not to interfere. I need you not to record. I need no evidence. Don't be helping these bigots.
Guess what, Dippy Doo? All that evidence is all over TikTok. They did it themselves. It's all over TikTok. They go into a supermarket. I don't need to record them stealing. Do you think that Walmart doesn't have the top-notch security system? Do you think Sam's Club doesn't have top-notch security system? Do you think ShopRite, Kroger's, things like that, places that make a lot of money and are multi-billion-dollar corporations, do you honestly believe that they do not have top-notch security systems? They not only got you, but they got you down to every shopping trip you ever been in their store. So nice try.
All the companies out.
And just so you know, it's not on the company's dollar. That does affect the people out there, because what happens when they lose a lot of money, they raise prices, and it makes it unaffordable for the rest of America, you dippy do. If you understood how finances work and the economy, then you might understand that when somebody steals from a store, they either close that store, or when it happens often enough, or the prices get so jacked up that people can't afford to shop there. And they still end up closing. So you don't know how the economy works, quite obviously, to tell people to mind your business because it's just a store that's losing money. No, actually, the American consumer, it affects us too.
Catching these people that are just trying to feed their families because
All right,
cut.
I gotta be done listening to this Dippy Broad because she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Before fucking holidays. And if they think the American people are going to be okay with it, you think the American people are going to go starving? Yeah, you got it all the way fucked up.
Okay, understand this. Number one, I keep hearing this, the holidays, the holidays, the holidays. You don't have to have turkey. You don't have to have ham. You don't have to have all those fixins. As a matter of fact, if you don't have enough of those fixins, you can go to any food shelter and they will make you a turkey dinner because that's what they do on that day. How do I know this? Because I've been to a food shelter before where I went and got food from and sat down and had a meal with a bunch of strangers because I had no other way to have dinner. And that was going back years. But anyway, point is that you don't have to have turkey and ham and all those fixings and all that crazy food that I be seeing people eating to have a nice holiday. Did we forget what the holiday is all about? It's about being together with your loved ones and being thankful for what you have. Ungrateful, stupid people.
At the grocery stores, at Walmart.
Oh, please do let there be riots. Because guess what? The moment you walk out of this Walmart with a cart that hasn't been deactivated, the doors get locked. You ain't going nowhere, dopey-doo.
Target, wherever EBT is fucking accepted at, yeah. Because apparently the only place that is still getting EBT is...
And I will let you know right now that this is probably only going to happen in the inner cities because in the suburbs, there aren't people who rely on this nonsense. And they're not acting like this. They go to their little community stores or they go to their ShopRite that's local or whatever, and they get their stuff and they go home. Just because the government isn't giving EBT for the month of November, number one, that's not on Trump. It's on Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and the rest of the Democratic leaders. Number two, all of this, telling people you're going to take what's yours. First of all, it ain't yours. It ain't yours. Technically, it's every other taxpayer and Americans out there, but it ain't yours. So technically, you ain't got shit. And if you do, you should be selling it to pay for your kids. Because you did not lay down with the government and have kids. You laid down with 1 or 2 or 3 or sometimes 8 men and had these babies. And I swear, I kid you not, this woman on TikTok actually said this. I could not believe it. She said she had 7 babies from 7 different men and another on the way with daddy number 8. And the reason is because every time she had a new kid, her check from social services would go up. And then she had one of her children who were aging out of the system, so she had to get pregnant again to make sure she had another baby in order to get a check from what? Get the hell out of here. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. Your mama and daddies didn't raise you right. You don't be. I can't. I just can't.
New York City and California. But what about the rest of thousands of millions of people who literally depend on EBT for food?
You want to know why California and New York City are getting it? Because of the illegal immigrants. They're the ones receiving it.
And I heard Albany is doing a Thanksgiving feeding of 10 people for only $40 freaking. And I don't know how true it is, but you know what? If it is, I'm so much glad. Mind you, Aldi is not even an American brand. It's a European brand. They don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah. If people have no food during Christmas, have no food during...
What part of this don't you get? You have a box of chicken and you got food. You could have a potato and you have food. You don't need ham and all those fixins. Are those nice? Yes. Yeah, it would be nice to have turkey and ham and all that fixin', all that good sweet potato pudding, deviled eggs, 7-layer salads, all that stuff. Okay. Then don't disown your families, because a lot of people with the blue hair, bull rings, were disowning their mamas and daddies. Well, guess what? Y'all would have been able to have a full Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner if you didn't do that. That's number one. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if you pick up the phone and call your mama and daddy, they probably forgive you in a heartbeat, because that's what parents do. Real moms and dads, anyway. Number two, how stupid do people got to be? Did we forget what the holiday is about? It started with the commercialization of the holidays. But now this is ridiculous, where people have totally forgotten what the holiday is about. It's not about stuffing your fat face. Sorry. It's not about stuffing your face. It's about being together with those you love and celebrating the holiday and being grateful for what you have, because there are people out there that are in a lot worse positions than you. You ungrateful, unholy, evil people.
Like, they know exactly what they are doing. They want people to cause commotion, but these are just people who are hungry. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, this is not going to end in a good way. If y'all are going to sit here and think that people of this country is going to sit home and starve, well, there's not fucking...
They're not starving. This is what you don't get. They are not happy that they're not getting their nails done or their hair done or getting their fat Subway sandwiches. Their big Subway sandwiches. That's what they're not happy about. I walked past a fast food McDonald's place one time and it says EBT welcome. I'm sorry, excuse me? No, that's not what that's for. How the hell are you able to buy EBT, get McDonald's on EBT? First of all, the food is absolutely so bad for you. It's beyond bad for you. Number two, if you can't afford that to come out of your pocket, that's a luxury you should not have. Yes, that's a luxury you should not have. Just like chips and candies and cookies and ice cream, if you cannot afford it, it's a luxury you don't get. If I can't afford to buy my kids ice cream, I'm not buying it. If I can't afford to buy them a ham, I'm not getting it. I'll figure out something else. You do what you got to do for your kids, but that doesn't include stealing.
Around the day, you got it all the way up.
All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if in certain areas this does end up happening.
So in the inner cities and certain areas where this happens, this is how we play this. Walmart employees, call out. Call out. Don't come in the first week of November. And when the stores are forced to shut their doors and lock them from the general public, then maybe these people will understand that they shouldn't be making these type of statements online.
It's crazy that people are already doing this for seemingly no reason, because it hasn't even gotten to effect yet.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800.
This man cracks me up. You are such a pansy. Get off your lazy ass and if my husband ever,
Down to
No.
$350.
boo-hoo, you are a grown-ass man. You can work.
Now, what am I supposed to do?
All right, we're going to skip past him because he makes me mad.
I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay.
Maybe don't be a hoe. I'm sorry. Why do you have 5 kids if you can't afford them? 1 kid, 2 kids, okay, I could even see that. 5, 7, 9, no.
I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not.
You're trying to spend time with them. That's admirable, but you do it after work and on the weekends. And just FYI, my husband was a union iron worker for 20 plus years. I will tell you this. My husband was one of the hardest working men I have ever met in my entire life. He went to work 7 days a week sometimes to feed the family and pay the bills. And this man's, I want to spend time with my children. Get the fuck out of here. Go to work.
I'm trying to go to work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills.
No, it's so you can keep a roof over your kids' home, kids' heads. It's so you can keep the lights on and the heat on in the house that your children are being raised in. It's so you can put food on the table for your children. It's so you can take care of your children, you lazy, lazy man.
I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought he had good going on, but now all of a sudden.
I still agree with what he's doing. All right, we're done listening to that. Base, man.
Here, you uppity people say, oh, go get a job. Like, go get this. I'll go to, well, maybe you shouldn't live on state aid. Do you realize they now put a letter in with your Medicaid and your link? Oh, you need to have a job, and then those people are going out and getting a job, and then they're getting their link taken from them, so then the little bit of extra money they had is now going on their rent or paying for food, so now they can't put their kids through soccer. They can't get that.
Okay, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of free programs for kids out there, and I guarantee that there's a lot of programs after school and otherwise. So, bullshit, baloney, bullcrap, don't believe her.
That extra car to make sure their kid gets to soccer. Or,
Oh, you can't have 2 cars instead of 1. Shocking. You can't get your nails done. Boo-hoo for you.
they don't have that extra $500-something because y'all took their link card away, and that $500.
You aren't supposed to have 500. I wish I had 500 extra dollars lying around at the end of every month. Most people do. But guess what? That's not real life.
Went towards their kids' tuition. Like, y'all rich.
I'm sorry, their tuition? Where are you paying for school? Are they in private school? Are they in Christian school? Catholic school? I doubt it. But public school's free. So what the hell are you talking about? Unless you're talking about daycare, in which case most people have that paid for too.
People think that we're just living off the state to live off
You are.
the state. No. Some people are because they're lazy. But one thing for sure, 2 things for certain.
First and foremost, can people stop doing that angle? Nobody wants to look up your nostrils. Okay, nobody. Now, I'm not saying every person's situation is the same, but no, if you are able-bodied, and I don't give a flying flip what she thinks, if she's able-bodied, she should take her ass to work. And if you lose your food stamps because, and I will agree that the ridiculous amount that they have for the poverty level to qualify is absolutely ridiculous. It is not even possible to meet that demand unless you don't have a job. So I will say that. But again, that system was only meant as a helping hand to get you back on your feet. You're not supposed to live in Section 8 housing for 30 years. You're not supposed to be receiving food benefits for 30 years. If you are in this country illegally, you are not supposed to be receiving any kind of benefit. Regardless, and I'm sorry, your child should not be receiving benefits, regardless if they're American citizens or not, because you're using those benefits quite obviously. And what I mean by that is you're not just buying for that child. You're using that money to pay your rent. You're using that food benefit to buy food for your entire household. And they're not giving, I'm sorry, a kid eats, yes, but how much does one child eat by themselves for a whole month? Not that much. Not as much as a full family would. So you don't buy enough food for just that baby or just that child. You buy for your whole household. So no, baloney. People would come over here. They would, what people used to call, anchor baby it, because they would come across the border illegally. They would then have a child. Some of them even came over 9 months pregnant. And they would have their child on American soil, and then that child's an American citizen, which, I'm sorry, that's not fair. They should not have been allowed to do that to begin with. And then what ends up happening is that child qualifies for SNAP, so the parents get it, and they keep having kid after kid after kid keep getting that check to go up, up, up. There's absolutely no incentive to become a legalized citizen. They've taken it away. California even gives them driver's licenses and CDLs, apparently.
No, in this very building I live in, there are women striving for greatness, and they went out and did what they had to do, and y'all took their Section 8. Y'all took everything.
Now that I do agree with. That if there are people, single moms out there, now I'm not talking about the single moms that have 9 kids, because I'm sorry, you're then having kid after kid after kid to keep the check rolling in. I'm talking about the single moms with 2 or 3 kids that are really struggling, that are really fighting to try to get their kids in a better position, to get their life in a better position. No, once they do get in a better position and get a job, you shouldn't just automatically take their Section 8. You need to give them time to build up a little safety net with their job, because that's just silly. So I do agree with her on that aspect of it.
That was keeping them afloat.
The reality is that most of these people on benefits could be working more and providing more benefits to the economy. And it's not as fair for the average taxpayer and for the government to have to support these people when they're just borrowing the money from other countries.
I have no clue what I'm gonna do. So, I get this letter in the mail.
Oh, this is the gem of a lady who was in the beginning who was pitching a fit. Okay, yeah.
And it says that I have to do 15 hours of community service per week to keep getting food stamps.
This is the woman that said she refuses to work because we, the taxpayer, need to be taking care of her and her children.
They don't understand. This is literally how I feed my kids. How am I supposed to feed my kids? Hold on.
What does that have to do with you going out and doing community service?
Literally.
You can still go out and do community service, and you could not lose your food stamps. It's not that complicated.
I don't know how I'm gonna feed my kids if I don't continue to get my food stamps. I have 7 kids and I depend on this to feed my.
Why can't you? They literally said you only need to complete 15 hours of community service. 15 hours. That's less than 8 hours a day. That's less than most people do in a full-time job. That's less than people do in a part-time job. And you can't even get off your lazy butt to do that? If I'm receiving government assistance of any kind, and they say, you got to do this, this, and this, if I need the help, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I'm not complaining about it because they're doing me a favor and my family a favor by helping me out. What happened to grateful? What happened to being thankful?
They want me to work 15 hours per week to keep getting food stamps.
Okay.
And I only have 1 week to pick the location of my community service. They're not even giving me a month to figure it out.
So I think the government does understand that this is the way that you feed your kids. So that's
Okay, first and foremost, go call your local animal shelter. You can volunteer. They take volunteers all the time, cleaning cages. Is it glamorous work? No. But are you doing a good service for the community? Absolutely.
why they offer you the option of doing community service.
And that's pretty much it. So the new rules are this. In order to receive SNAP benefits, you will need to either work a minimum of 20 hours a week and I'm sure they're going to raise the poverty line because they can't say that and then not do that because it's almost impossible to work 20 hours a week and qualify for any kind of assistance. But what I think they need to do is they need to revamp the system. They need to make it to where it's a fair system for all. And they need to then, these people that are lifers, because understand that's who I'm talking about. The lifers. The people that have kid after kid after kid. Their parents had kid after kid after kid on the system, and now they're having kid after kid after kid on. No, they need to break that cycle. And this is how we do it. And no, I'm sorry, folks. You do not need turkey or ham and all the trimmings for a good family Thanksgiving. You don't, because that's not what the holiday is. The holiday is not about turkey. Does anybody even remember what the Thanksgiving holiday is? I'm not going to answer what I believe it is, because I know what the Thanksgiving holiday is. Maybe I want to see some comments down below. Tell me, what do you think of the holidays? Do you think people have lost their holiday, what the holidays are truly about? Like Christmas, I hear people pitching a fit because they're not going to have ham for Christmas. And I hear people, I don't know what I'm going to do for toys for my kids or this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's sad. Every kid should open a toy on Christmas. But you do realize that's not what the holiday is about. It's not about Christmas trees and presents and bows and all that stuff, or turkey or ham. No. It's about our Savior's birth and the celebration of our Savior's birth. So Christmas was too easy, but I want to see what kind of answers I get for the Thanksgiving one. So can you guys tell me what the Thanksgiving holiday is all about? You let me know down below. And don't forget, check out Is She Loyal on YouTube and show them the love. And give them the like. Give that channel the like and the subscribe. And don't forget, like and subscribe here too. Peace, love, and happiness. God bless.